guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have my everyday drugstore makeup routine. I recently put out my 2018 drugstore favorite products, and in this video I'm going to be putting those products to use. You're going to see exactly why I love them and you're going to understand. So this typical makeup would be something that I would wear to work, weekend, and I can really speed up this routine if I need to. So if you want to know how I got this everyday makeup look, then just keep watching. So I am starting off with a setting spray. Now this one is by Designer Brands or DB Cosmetics. I find that my makeup lasts a lot longer when my face is nice and hydrated, so I will be using this several times in my makeup application. I'm going to be using the L'Oreal Infallible Mattifying Primer today. I just take a nice big squirt and just apply like in the middle of my nose, my forehead, and then on my chin, and then just blend it all out with my hands and fingers. So this one leaves my skin feeling really nice and smooth. Then I'm taking my Model's Own correcting palette. Gonna take the green and pop that over my red marks. So whether they be active breakouts or some scarring, just wherever there's a few more noticeable marks. This will help counteract them, the redness. I'm taking my Quartz Beauty Foundation Buffer Brush, and I'm going to be using the Maybelline Superstay Foundation in 30 Sand. Now it's up to you whether you apply the foundation straight to the brush or you can dot it on your face like this. Either way it's going to end up on your face. But I'm going to take the brush and I'm just going to kind of stipple it. So just in light motions, just because I really want that coverage. I am someone that loves a full coverage foundation, especially to cover all of my scarring, my breakouts and redness. So I'm just going to do this all over. I like to buff it into the hairline, so just lightly go back and forth just to blend it in there. This color is a little bit light for me today. I'm going to mix it in with some Warm Sun, and this one I just put straight on the brush. And I'm just going to dot it around everywhere so the colour is nice and even. You can of course mix on the back of your hand, but I just find that I waste a lot of product when I do that. So you can see how that coverage is. You want to just bring it down your neck, make sure everything blends in, especially if you have some fake tan on. Next up I go in with concealer, and I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer. I'm going to go in with number 10 first. And then number 15 on top. You can either use a beauty sponge for this, but I'm going to use the concealer buffer. And again, just using that same technique just to keep the coverage. Just see, it just blends it out just so beautifully. I love these brushes. Just over the eyelid as well. Taking a little bit of the corrector from the Model's Own palette, and I'm just going to pop that right there. So just where the dark circles are on my eye. And then we just want to make sure that that's blended out just seamlessly, and that there's not too much product there because you don't want it to seep into your fine lines. Then I'm taking the Face of Australia Translucent Loose Powder, then picking some of the powder up on the mini powder brush. I'm just going to dust it on the under eye area. Now I love doing this with a sponge, but you can just do it with a brush as well. Like, it doesn't need to be with a sponge. So I put on quite a bit of excess powder because I like to bake the area. Just helps everything set a bit better, and it makes sure that my under eyes don't crease. Then I'm taking my Savvy Pressed Powder. This one is in Sand Beige, and I'm just going to set the rest of my face where I didn't put that translucent powder. And this is on the Luxe Powder Brush by Quartz Beauty. Moving on to brows, I am using my Designer Brands Brow Master. This is a brow pomade, and I'm using the color Hickory. This is on the Quartz Beauty Brow Definer. Now this color is a bit dark, but I can make it work. Then using my Savvy Clear Brow Gel, I'm going to do a couple of coats on my brows just to keep them in place. I'll probably do one after I do mascara usually, and then I'm just going to brush away all of that powder that's left, and then some more spray. Going in with my Model's Own Matte Eyeshadow Primer, and then just blend it out with my fingers. Then I'm going to take my trusty old Shaaanxo BH Cosmetics The Remix palette. I'm going to go in with this color here called Clarity. I'm taking my eye base brush. I'm just going to set that eye base. First up, I'm going to take Buttercup, and on a soft crease brush. I know there's like a few steps, but it's just using the same palette. So to me, they're just like really quick steps. So just lightly going in with that first, and I'm just basically using the colors because they're there. This will be like a transition color, so it will help to blend into your skin tone. Doesn't make that much of a difference, but it will help blend the other shadows in better. Then I'm going in with Terracotta. So this is a beautiful brown shade, and I'm just going to fluff that over the top, so in the crease. Just like take my brush, go in circular motions, focusing on that outer edge, and then push it back along that crease line in windscreen wiper motions. I think once you find your own technique with this, you learn to apply the shadow so quickly. So that's just using 2 colors, like really not much product at all. And already we've done this look. Like, I mean, you could just leave it there if you wanted to. Okay, so on the Precision Blender brush, I'm gonna take Dark Horse, which is this dark brown color. Tap off the excess, and then I like to just go in just a little bit on that outer corner. I don't like to take too much, so I just take a little bit and then pop it on both sides, and then I blend it out. And then also take your soft crease brush and blend that. I usually go back in with Terracotta over the top just to blend that. See how that's just blended in really nicely there, like just brought a little bit more attention to the outer edge of the eye, and then just lightly go around the edges. Then on my domed pencil brush, I'll go back in with Terracotta and just pop that along the lower lash line. Just meet that color up there. Now usually I just do a matte lid, so I'm going to go back in with that first color and just pat that over those colors there, just to make sure that that lid is nice and light and bright, and then just blend it with that soft crease brush so there's no harsh lines. I'm going to take my Wingled liner brush, and I'm going to go in with Dark Horse, and I'm just going to press that into that top lash line, and that's just going to define the eye a little bit more. I really love using shadows as an eyeliner on the top lash line. If you want, you could even like take a little bit and pop it on the lower lash line. I might just do the outer half there. So we're up to mascara. I'm using the L'Oreal Unlimited mascara. Now I like to go on top of my lashes first because I have really super fair lashes. I like to get as close to the lash line as I can and then go underneath. I know everyone applies their mascara differently, and then I'll do the lower lashes as well. I'm going to use this Models Prefer Mineral Powder Soft Touch in Radiant Bronze. I haven't used this for a while, but I do remember I did really used to like it, and it is showing up pretty good. So I'm just going to run that along my jawline, down my neck, along my cheekbones, and then around the edges. So my temples, my forehead. And this is on the domed bronzer brush from Quartz Beauty. So just do those ones. And on a day-to-day kind of basis, I don't usually contour. I just usually do a bit of bronzer. If I did want to contour a little bit, I might take my face sculpting brush and just chisel that out a little bit, and maybe go a bit on the nose, under the lip there, along the jawline. Then I have been loving my Baked Blush from NYX in Ignite. So I'm just going to pop that on using the angled blush brush. Lately, to highlight, I've been using the Soft Focus Soft Touch powder from Models Prefer. I am going to go in with some more spray. And I want to just let it dry like a little bit because I don't want it to be like too in your face. But I'll just put that on tops of my cheekbones, just like underneath my eye, just like around, you know, that eye area, like in a C there. And just down my nose as well. Just on top of my lip. I'm gonna take Holy Grail and just highlight that inner corner. I usually go for something like a little bit more, use like a highlighter or something, to be honest. Then going in with my favorite lip liner. This is the Savvy Lip Liner in Rose. And this one has really been loved. I like to fill in my whole lips. Then going in with the Essence Velvet Matte Lipstick in number 23, which is basically the same color. Has anyone else been obsessed with scrunchies lately? I am in love. This one came in a 2-pack from Ruby. Okay, so here is the final look. So I hope now you can understand why I am obsessed with all of the products that I'm using. The other thing that kind of let me down was actually the eye primer. I could just see before that it's kind of creasing in there. And that doesn't usually happen when I use my soft ochre paint pot. I would usually use that on a daily basis. But for the drugstore component of this video, I have used this one. If you have a better eye primer that you would recommend that is from the drugstore, please let me know. I would love to know and try it so that I can complete my drugstore routine. Anyway, I hope you picked up some tips and tricks from this video, and I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
We found a different beat. Paradise is waiting and we bought the lead.